Hear that?
So Dennis, you start, and then I come in at harmony on the B part.
No, that's Hashki Baby. I'll do lead bars.
You guys are ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I turned them on. Steve, we are ready. We are ready. So we're waiting for you. The song is done.
My hand is so cold.
What's that?
She's fanning and my
I
hand's
know.
freezing.
I know. Did you run here?
You should try menopause for a while.
Oh.
You love it.
I've already been through it.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Shana Tova. Happy New Year. Bruchim Habayim. Welcome, everyone. Joyously, so many of us are back in person. I can't tell you how much joy I feel to be in a room with all of you today. And also just to see the faces over there on the screen. Hello, everyone online. We love you. Yay, Shana Tova. So good at last. And here we are together to begin a 10-day awesome journey of personal and communal spiritual return that is the Yamim Noraim, the high holy days, the days of awe. Personally, we will journey inward with reflection, accounting, forgiving, seeking, thanking, awakening, and centering. Communally, we will journey with prayers that proclaim we and us, that new of Hebrew, the new, because we cannot walk through our lives alone, and we cannot do this work alone. We do it together. Our Machzor, our High Holy Days prayer book, which you either have in hand or online, you might have a digital copy. It holds our prayers. We also have a supplement full of additional prayers and songs and poems. And these two things will serve as our map on our journey. Our prayer leaders, our speakers, our Torah chanters, our awesome technology coordinators, whoop, whoop, our shofar blowers will be our guides. And our prayers and our melodies, the intentions, the chanting of the wisdom of our Torah will be the vehicle by which we are carried to where we need to go in this sacred time of renewal and healing. Let us bless the journey we are setting out on together with the Traveler's Prayer, which can be found in your supplement, number 1. Please join me. May it be your will, Lord our God and God of our ancestors, that you lead us toward peace, guide our footsteps toward peace, and make us reach our desired destination for life, gladness, and peace. May you rescue us from the hand of every foe, ambush along the way, and from all manner of punishments that assemble to come to earth. May you send blessing in our handiwork, and grant us grace, kindness, and mercy in your eyes and in the eyes of all who see us. May you hear the sound of our humble request, because you are God who hears our requests. Blessed are you, Lord, who hears prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea tefillah. I now want to invite us to just take a moment and breathe in the joy of our arrival at this moment. I now invite up the Saturn family, who will bring us in to our holiday officially with the Yom Tov candle lighting and the Shehechianu prayers. And these prayers can be found in your supplement, number 2.
No. You can take it down. You can. We're family. Okay. Yeah.
mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu lazman hazeh. Amen.
We turn to number 3 in our supplement, a poem by Gregory Orr. Please read with me. Let's remake the world with words, not frivolously nor to hide from what we fear, but with a purpose. Let's, as Wordsworth said, remove the dust of custom so things shine again, each object arrayed in its robe of original light. And then we'll see the world as if for the first time, as once we gazed at the beloved who was gazing at us. As we rise in body or in spirit for the Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 17 of your Machzor, I invite those online to look around the Zoom room if you're able, or to look into the view of the sanctuary. And for all of us here in person, I invite us to just turn around, turn beside you, check each other out, say hello, good Yansif.
Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. And I invite up Tony Heald, who will be reading from our supplement, The Head of the Year by Marge Piercy, number 4.
Soon the moon will be dark, a new moon for a new year. It is hollow and hungers to be full. It is the black zero of beginning. Now you must void yourself of injuries, insults, incursions. Go with empty hands to those you have hurt and make amends. It is not too late. It is early and about to grow. Now is time to do what you know you must and feared to begin. Your face is dark too as you turn inward to face yourself, the hidden twin of all you must grow to be. Forgive the dead year. Forgive yourself. What will be wants to push through your fingers. The light you seek hides in your belly. The light you crave longs to stream from your eyes. You are the moon that will wax in new goodness.
Page 18. You abound in blessings, eternal one, our God, sovereign of all time and space, whose word brings on twilight. With wisdom you open gateways. With understanding you alter times, vary the seasons, and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness away from light.
Umavdil bein ovein laila, umevi laila, umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, el chai v'kayom, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
We turn to page 22. As the evening rolls in, we call in the truth of love, accompanying our entering of the new year. Please join us in a call and response chant of Ahavat Olam. There is so much love in the universe. Let us tune into that as we sing. Ahava,
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 Ahavat Olam,
Ahavat Olam,
Beit Yisrael,
Beit Yisrael,
Amcha Ahavta,
Amcha Ahavta,
Ahava,
Ahava,
Ahava. invite up Carmen Portnoy to share this poem in your supplement number 5 as we enter the Shema.
Listen, the celestial timekeeper, the mysterious code is in one breath. The vital spark, the universe, seeker of radiant richness, life before death, contains galaxies of pure love, true wealth. Majestic creator of spheres and sun, infinite intelligence, we are all one.
Please respect your custom if it is to rise for the Shema on page 23. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווה היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך דיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך. והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We continue silently on our own. Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet. We turn to page 29. As we enter into the Micha Mocha prayer, invite us into this interpretive Gaal Yisrael reading. You may listen and take it in or join me. All this is true and trustworthy, our experience of this world. Our lives are difficult. We are pursued by our ideals and our imperfections. We must choose between life and death, between slavery and freedom. We sway between listening for hope and succumbing to anguish and despair, the death of our spirit. But we are not abandoned nor alone. We search the distant past in our own days and find the courage to enter our struggles, to wrestle with the pharaohs in our hearts and those in the world around us, and to slowly free ourselves from bondage. We are companions who help each other rise from that dust. From age to age, the tale has been told, how Moses and Miriam led us forth from Egypt. The deed of liberation is answered with joyous song, a moment of celebration that lingers and uplifts us in the midst of our days. Mi chamocha. We're going to begin in the middle of the second paragraph on page 28. Moshe uMiriam uVnei Yisrael lecha anu shira besimcha rabba ve'amru chulam. Page 30. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar, ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, gal Yisrael. I now invite up Robin Heald to read for us the Piece of Wild Things. It's in your supplement, number 6.
When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives might be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
We call into our evening that piece of wild things, the still water, the starlight, and the sunlight of the universe to hold us and all whom we love, all who we hold dear, and all who are in need of protection. May we lie down tonight, this Erev Rosh Hashanah, in peace and in joy, and awaken in the morning fully restored to life. Our musicians will now lead us in the Hashkivenu prayer of protection, which can be found in the supplement number 7, and the traditional words can be found on page 31.
Hashkivenu shalom. Pros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom. Aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Blessed are you, Eternal One, who spreads your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel and all people everywhere, and over Jerusalem. And let us say, Amen.
Tikeu, Tikeu.
That was a sneak preview. Sounded nice, Randall. Tonight we heard a glorious blast of the shofar from Jordan Saturn. Thank you. And tomorrow and Tuesday we will hear many, many more blasts from our shofar blowers. I read a commentary about how interesting it is that we have innovated so much as a people and a species, and yet we still play this simple shofar, just a ram or goat's horn hollowed out with its roughly cut sound piece. And the sound that comes out of it is so startling and at times unpleasant, although you played it so very, very beautifully. It really was beautiful. But some of those calls, when the shevarim, the trua, the ch-ch-ch, and the ooh, right? It's a very, could be a very uncomfortable sound. So why in all this time have we not made something more refined than this, a fancier instrument? And I read, and this just makes so much sense, because this connects us, of course, to our past, to our people. We are an ancient people. And the sound that it makes can make us jump and can make us feel disrupted. And that's its job. Its job is to upset us, alert us, destabilize us, to wake up. No more sleeping. I hear a shofar of one kind in here. It calls us to pay attention to everything in this magnificent and imperfect world today, everything. And we ourselves do not need to be refined. We need this example to wake us up, to stir us up, to really listen. It is imperfect just as we are. So on page 34, we rise as we call in the commandment to sound the shofar. We're not going to hear it again today, but we're going to hear that commandment and rise for it and really step into it, into this ancient calling upon us to hear this unrefined, startling, imperfect sound. Page 34.
Tiku, tiku, b'chodesh shofar, b'chodesh shofar, tikeu b'chodesh shofar, tikeu b'chodesh shofar, b'keser leyom chagenu, l'keser leyom chagenu, ki chok leYisrael hu, mishpot leElohei. Yaakov. Kadash Merabah Be'ol mod divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon Uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael B'gala uvizman koriv v'meru amen yesh merabah mevorach le'olam ulamei ulmaya Yitborach v'ishtabach v'ishpoar v'yitbromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalol shemei dekudashah brichu leila uleila mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiron be'alma v'meru amen.
We remain standing for the silent Amidah beginning on page 36 that goes until page 48. This prayer gives us moments to remember our ancestors and their strength, to remember the holiness of this day, to lift up our longing to serve and our abundant gratitude and our deep yearnings for peace. Please also be sure to take good care of yourself if you need to sit down. And our musicians will sing us in page 36.
Adonai, Silvertite.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
Ose shalom, ose shalom.
O say shalom, O say shalom.
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 Shalom. May the one who makes peace make peace for all people, and let us say, Amen. We turn to page 48. In the book of life, blessing, peace, and honorable prosperity, may we be remembered and inscribed, we and all your people Israel, for a life of goodness and peace.
בספר חיים ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה ניזכר וניכתב לפניך אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים ולשלום ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
Amen. We now turn to page 179, where we're going to rise again and open the ark as we call upon the caregiver of the universe and the good care of each other to witness us, to hear us, to hold us and guide us, to comfort us and restore us to wholeness. Avinu malkeinu chonenu va'anenu ki ein banu ma'asim aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu v'anenu, ki ein banu aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, ve'oshienu. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed,
Our Torah begins with the story of the birthday of the world, telling of its creation in these words. Breshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, when God began to create heaven and earth. Ve'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu choshech al penei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al penei hamayim. The earth being unformed and void, with darkness over the surface of the deep, and a wind from God sweeping over the water. Vayomer Elohim yehi or, vayehi or. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. There was only darkness in the beginning. And then there was this wind, a breath, the soul of God. And then God spoke light into being. In Judaism, we celebrate our God. And many texts emphasize that the reason for that celebration is because God liberated us from Egypt. And that's a great reason. And on this Rosh Hashanah day, this birthday of the world day, we particularly celebrate God because God created the amazing world that we live in. And the first piece of that creation was to take the only darkness place and transform it by adding light. There is so much comfort to me in this that God did at the beginning of creation. Somehow, God made light. I can't imagine such a thing. Sure, I can light a match, and I can switch a light on in my house. Easy peasy, right? But what God did, it was truly a miracle. And whether or not we really believe that this actually happened, I have to agree that light is miraculous. It is the stuff of color, of rainbows, of sparkles, of glistening on water. It lets us see each other's smiles and so much beauty in the world. And when light comes out of darkness, that is even more of a miracle. That is the stuff of hope. We are told in the Torah just moments after we read about how light is created that we are made b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. And this essentially means we have holiness inside of us that looks like God's, and we can do as God does, or we can try and maybe we'll get close. Clearly, I cannot manifest light in the darkness when I just say it should be so, the way God can. But maybe I can in some other way. There is a song I love from the play Hamilton. Hamilton is about our country's founding fathers, and it goes like this. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And another verse in that song says, death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep living anyway. We rise and we fall and we break and we make our mistakes. Despite all of our imperfections as humans and all that might come at us in our lives, we keep on keeping on. We keep loving and living and rising and laughing and trying and hoping and giving and helping. And I think that this is how we actually and powerfully make light in the world. And we can even do so when there is darkness. Tomorrow and throughout these days of awe, we will chant the words of the Unatana Tokef, the haunting poem that lifts up that we do not know what the outcome of the coming year will be. Our future, as of now, is yet unwritten. And as the year progresses, we will write our lives. We will help craft what will be our destiny. And some of this will be what we write, what we do, and some of it will write us. It will happen to us because life, biology, chemistry, anatomy, physics, astronomy, geology, timing, luck, for good, for bad, has a way of happening regardless of what we do. But there is that part that we can do, says the Una Tana Tokef. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah is returning to the pure essence within, to the center of our being, getting grounded, coming home, finding shalom, wholeness, finding shalom, peace. It's about healing and repair. It's about letting go of that which no longer serves us and embracing that which does. And this is a way that we can cultivate our inner light. Tefillah is about hoping anyway, with our prayers, with our yearnings, remembering that there is mystery and love and so much preciousness and beauty. And we place our trust in that which is beyond ourselves. We keep our sights on that which is true and good and just. And this is a way that we can be in relationship with light. With tzedakah, we give of ourselves, from our resources, with our deeds, towards a more just, whole, and repaired world. And this is a way we can actually manifest light and life in the world. And all of this equals us continuing to keep loving and living anyway. And all of this equals light. My friend Rabbi Helen Plotkin writes that these three things, teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah, change our character in the unfolding plot of our stories. When you read a novel, she says, you don't appreciate the characters on the basis of whether they live long lives with no loss. What you appreciate is the depth and the richness of the characters' lives. Teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah can change your story into one worth reading, and even when we can't change the plot, it is the strength of our character that can make the story rich and strong. That power is in your hands as you cultivate the self to whom it will happen. Teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah are there to help you write yourself into a role worth reading. Rabbi Toba Spitzer adds to this. She says, through these practices of tefillah, teshuvah, and tzedakah, we can face our existential terrors. We're neither in control nor completely powerless. There is a way out of suffering, and it lies with us in our intentions and our actions. So when life invariably does that thing that it will do, taking us to where we don't want to be, to a plot line we never planned for ourselves or for others, we have a recipe for walking through. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. And with these things, we can face the world. We can walk through in strength and in dignity. We can show up for others. We can make a difference. The High Holy Days are 10 days of intensive training on thinking about how we want to live, given the certainty that there will be uncertainties in our lives. There will be storms, chaos, unrest, illness, and heartbreak in our personal lives and in the larger life of the world all around us. And yet we are urged on by the Unatana Tokef to greet our lives by treasuring our lives and remembering that we have a role to play by actively living and loving. Our daily morning Yotzer Or prayer begins. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Or Uvorei Choshech, Osei Shalom Uvorei et HaKol. Blessed are you, creator of light and darkness, maker of peace and everything. As we greet each new day, we acknowledge that every day holds both darkness and light. And this same prayer ends with Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. Blessed are you, creator of the lights. Even with our acceptance of all that is possible in our everyday, the light and the darkness, we see and bless just how much light there is. The sun, the moon, stars, rainbows, sparkles, reflections, lightning bugs, and you and me, and how we each bring our light into the world. There are so many lights. This gives me great hope. We begin our High Holy Days journey in earnest this evening, and as we do, let us wrap ourselves in some of the words of empowerment and hope that are found in Psalm 27. It's a psalm that we read every day in the month leading up to this New Year's Day. Don't let me get lost in my soul suffering. I will trust in the wholeness of everything. My heart says, I am looking for you. I will trust in the truth of the way things are and fill my heart with power and courage. Teach me the way of presence. I will then hope for presence with a strong heart full of courage. Yes, I will have hope. May our sufferings not engulf us. May trust and hope light our way. May we be strengthened with power and courage to live our lives, to love in our lives. May we be lovingly present to who we actually are, revealing the darkness as well as the sparkles and rainbows unique to each of us. May we remember that we are the co-authors with the divine of who we will be as we live and love. May we become the eloquent characters in our stories that we want to read, who inspire us and call us to showing up with our love and our hope. And may all of this be the stuff of so much more light in the world. Because yes, we can make light in the world. L'Shana Tova. Happy New Year. This next song, Kaveh, means hope, and it also means trust. And it is those words I just read from Psalm 27. And we're going to be singing it in Hebrew, and these words can be found in your supplement, number 8.
אל תתנני בנפש צרה, קבל אדוני, לך אמר ליבי בקשו פניי, קבל אל תתנני בנפש צרה, קבל אדוני, לך אמר ליבי בקשו פניי, קבל אדוני.
We're now going to call in healing for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our country, for all who are suffering in the world, for our planet and all her creatures. We will recite these words that Moses prayed for his sister Miriam. Even after she had spoken so poorly about him, Moses still prayed for her healing. It's such a powerful modeling for us about forgiveness, for taking on a posture of well wishes for all who are suffering in our midst. On Zoom, feel free to write the names in the chat of those you are thinking about tonight. In the sanctuary, I please invite you to say names of those you're thinking of, and then I will also read some names. Bobby Schultz, David Wilcox, Elisa Friedlander, Zipporah Epstein, Harav Chaya Sarah Mina Bat Rivka Baila, Harav Miriam Yael Bat Yitzhak Vasara, Della Spector, Sally Telpner, Avital Cohen, Isa Martinez, Sarah Rivka Bat Zahira Yael, Sophia Harris, Sanford Goldberg, Lola Sonnenschein, Roxanne Weinberger, Talia Weinberger, Pam Davis, Howard Booster, Eliana Hirsch, Owen Grush, Linda Barkalau, Lynn Stolzer, Steve Stolzer, Hadassah Johanna Chaya Klein, Alenda Moriarty, Harav Emmanuel Ben Naomi, the Rav Aryeh, Dick Hyman, Lisa Lopez, Ethan Guggenheimer, Adi Goldberg, and Meira Bat Adira Leah. I now happily invite up our beloved board president, Stephen Portnoy, to share some words.
Hello. So the very wise president of the shul that we belonged to before moving to Ashland said, keep speeches to one page and always start with a joke. So here we go. A rabbi has to spend a few days in the hospital for a minor surgery. The president of the shul comes to visit the rabbi and says, good news, Rabbi. The board just voted 12-8 to wish you a speedy recovery. So today I mostly want to express my gratitude. First, thank you to all of you here in person tonight. Obviously, we're not back to normal yet, but the safety precautions that allow us to be together again were researched, discussed, debated, and voted on, and your cooperation shows that we are truly a congregation that cares about each other. I want to thank all of you who are here online. Not even Zoom fatigue could keep you away, and I hope that the technological improvements we've made this past year help to provide a meaningful and spiritual experience. Thank you to all the prayer leaders, singers, readers, poets, and musicians who have and will be contributing their talents to make these high holidays special. Thank you to all the volunteer hosts, ushers, and greeters. Nothing is more welcoming after a long absence than to be warmly greeted by a familiar face. Thank you to all who helped prepare our building for this year's return. I do feel bad about the herds of displaced dust bunnies, but the building is looking great. Thank you to everyone on our committees, all our committees, who have kept programs alive through these challenging times. And thank you to all those members who have volunteered their precious time in so many ways. Thank you to our Board of Trustees for your dedication to the welfare of this community and for your forgiveness for the long meetings. Thank you to our Pomegranate Preschool and Shul School educators who care for our young people and guide them toward a life that includes Judaism. And thank you to our adult education leaders who inspire us to continue expanding our knowledge of and love for Judaism. Now for some special people, I want to thank Kathy Ballin. Kathy, our recently retired office manager, for carrying the weight of the many spinning plates it takes to keep TES going for so many years. And a huge thank you to Zaire Hogwood, who has taken over this Herculean task while spinning several plates of her own. Thank you to Diana Fairbanks, our bookkeeper, for managing all of our complicated financial details. Thank you, Hazan Randall, for lending your beautiful voice and your incredible wisdom. And most of all, thank you, Rabbi Julie. You rise to every challenge with passion and dedication. You are a strong and powerful leader and simultaneously nurturing and compassionate. We are so lucky to have you as a rabbi. So now, even though the orchestra is trying to play me off, there is one more person to thank tonight. Thank you to my wife, Carmen, for your love, support, courage, creativity, and understanding. I love you very much. 5783 will be a big year for Temple Emek Shalom, full of opportunities for teshuvah. Our role in serving the larger Rogue Valley community is growing through our efforts with organizations like BASE, Habitat for Humanity, and the Ashland Emergency Food Bank. Our building, including our incredible library, is becoming more available. Next spring, we will be celebrating 50 years as a congregation. We are coming back together for worship, classes, fundraisers, galas, trips, hikes, Shabbat dinners, picnics, and so many other exciting ways to reconnect. I'm grateful to serve as your president. I strive to live up to the example set by the many others who have held this job before me. It takes a village, and I think we're just the village to do it. May this year be a year of joy, health, happiness, and peace for all of us. L'shana tova u'metuka.
I invite us to turn to reading number 10 in our supplement in preparation for the Elenu. As the hand held before the eye hides the tallest mountain, so this small earthly life hides from our gaze the vast radiance and secrets of which the world is full. And if we can take life from before our eyes as one takes away one's hand, we will see the great radiance of the world. May it be so, and may this season, this Yamim Noraim, help us to really see and take in that radiance of our beautiful world, especially on its birthday. So we turn to page 57 for the Elenu, where we lift up that it is upon us to partner with the divine to manifest all that we want seen in the world and to manifest light. We rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ודעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו We may be seated, and we turn to reading number 11 in our supplement as we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. This profound praise of the living, praise for the generous gift of life, praise for the presence of loved ones, the bonds of friendship, the link of memory, praise for the toil and the searching, the dedication and visions, the ennobling aspirations, praise for the precious moorings of faith, for courageous souls, for prophets, psalmists, and sages. Praise for those who walked before us, the sufferers in the valley of shadows, the steadfast in the furnace of hate. Praise for God of our fathers, the source of all growth and goodness, the promise of which we build tomorrow. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. This, the profound praise we offer, praise for the generous gift of life.
Kaddish Yatom can be found on page 62. And I invite those on Zoom to please write the names of beloveds you're thinking of at this time in the chat. And invite us to say names of those we're thinking of here in the room today.
Helen Cooper Miller.
Jonas Keller. In our community, we remember loved ones of congregants who died in the past year. Marvin Sklan, Ed Elson, Janice Litchin, Daniel Charles Dietz, Louise Reifman, Harriet Bellinson, Trudy Schuster, Luba Fine Carlton, Betty First, Jessica Spirit, Ted Hannon, Rolanda Green Grauman, Mildred Pitts, Tim Orick, Norm Fisher, Evelyn Rosenfeld, John Drysdale, Lawrence Vogel, Joel Kabakov, Maynard Telpner, Alan Gale, Judith Stevens, Larry Diamond, Edward Steele. We also remember all who have died in the Matzav in Israel and all those who have lost their lives around the world. And this Shabbat marks the yahrzeit of Lillian Stein Goldberg, Neil Stockton, Leopold Churgin, Rebecca Charney, Nat Silverman, Louis Levi, Claire Dratch, Edward Green, Esther Shamus, Rose Hyman, Hilda Gershwin, Jenny Priestman, Adolf Gilman, Samuel Mandelblatt, Nevin Danner, Ruth Golding, Leah Rosenfeld, and Everard Weisbird. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Page 62. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Bialma divra chirutei v'yanlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayei d'chol beit Yisrael, bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemeda Kudisha, Brihu, Le'ela u Le'ela, Mikol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nechamata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shlama Rava Min Shemaya, V'chayim Tovim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'momav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru. Amen. We turn to our supplement number 12 for Zochrenu L'chaim. Remember us, remember our beloveds for life and for all the love. So a few announcements. I want to express my gratitude for everyone who's here today in the room and on Zoom, on YouTube. Thanks to everyone who helped lead prayers and offered poetry, our musicians who helped make this service so beautiful. A reminder to everyone that we have a food drive going on, and there's information about that in our mailings. And tomorrow, immediately after our morning service, we're going to be heading over to Lithia Park to the bandstand for Tashlich. Please join us. And we recommend that you have a little snack with you to carry you over in between the service and Tashlich. You could even bring a picnic for yourself to have at Lithia Park. That might be lovely as well. We need a little bit of help tomorrow and invite people to come back to the synagogue at 4 o'clock to help us set up for Tuesday's outdoor service. So if anyone's willing and able to come up and just lend a hand, as we like to say in our family, teamwork makes your dreams work. So we're excited to be able to have an outdoor service and hope the weather continues to be as beautiful as it has been. In a moment, we will bless for wine, challah, apples, and honey. And after these blessings, we will have an original piece by Dennis Fries entitled Erev Rosh Hashanah. Please join us after the service outside the sanctuary for challah, apples, and honey. And for those of you who like, you can also go outside to eat. So we look forward to seeing many of you in the morning at 9:30. Thank you all so much. And so we're going to now have Kiddush. can be found on page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu le'avodato. V'romemonu b'hilshono, u'kishanu b'mitzvotav. V'atiten lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava, et yom hazikaron hazeh, yom teruah, mikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivonu v'charta, ve'atanu kidashta, le'avodatecha, u'devarcha emet, v'kayom lo'ad. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael. Ay, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael. V'yom hazikaron.
Amen. Chaim. And our blessings for apples and honey can be found on page 69. And I invite up the Healed family to lead us in blessings for challah and apples and honey.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'etz. Amen.
Thank you. Erev Rosh Hashanah. Hello. The Shana Tova Mitsuka. Happy New Year. May it be so very sweet. Blessings.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, go up. Randall. This year, go, buddy.